Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. I'm the creator here, Wood. Man, what to get into today? Shout out to this little young girl, Layla from St. Louis. I believe she lives in St. Louis, but she has some type of medical condition. I only saw part of the story on ESPN, but she's kind of become the ambassador, the good luck charm for the St. Louis Blues. Game 7 is tonight in Boston, and I just think with her involved with it, I don't see, even though the Blues are the underdog, we definitely don't need any more professional sports titles in the city of Boston unless you're from Boston. But I think the Blues might get it done tonight. I'm gonna tune in and check it out. Quick boxing notes, man. I'm not gonna dig into too much with this it being Tyson Fury and Tom Schwartz week out in Las Vegas. I'll just say that the onus is on Fury to deliver in terms of putting in an exciting performance and continuing the momentum that the heavyweight division has gained. I really can't say Schwartz didn't even do enough for me to. I mean, it's not enough of a reason for me to even go digging into trying to find some footage of the guy. In my opinion, if he shocks me Saturday night, then so be it. And one thing about it, if you've been on boxing scene the last week and a half, Fury has just been constantly talking about Anthony Joshua. And I don't look at this really as a trap game for Fury per se at all. But he said quite a bit about Anthony Joshua, some good, some bad. And like I said, it's on him to avoid what happened to Joshua in terms of being upset, but then also creating, further extending the buzz about him and the rematch with Deontay Wilder for the WBC heavyweight title. Also on there, like I said, please go down in my playlist and check out the interview that I had, the live stream with Albert Prince Bell, who faces Andy Vincez for the super featherweight WBC Continental Americas belt, I think is what Vincez is. It's interesting for me because I'm from Ohio. Albert Bell is from Toledo, Ohio, and I don't know if I mentioned this on Morning Wood, but a lot of guys, a lot of fighters, men and women, probably once a year as a prospect, at least once a year, they put that throw me to the wolves and I'll come back the pack leader. They throw that Instagram post out there, that tweet out there, and this is literally that situation for Albert Prince Bell, 14-0 with 1 no contest, 5 knockouts. And then Vincez, 22-0-1, I believe, with 12 knockouts. So it's an interesting fight for me, and those lower level, it's some magic down in the on the undercard, and this could be a fight that comes out, and it could go either way. To be honest, it could go either way. Maybe Bell, maybe he hasn't experienced someone like Eric DeLeon. Although I think he said they sparred at least once with DeLeon training up in Detroit. But anyway, check that interview out. Shout to the heavy-hitting diva, Franchon Cruz Dezern. She signed a deal with Golden Boy. It was announced yesterday. She will be fighting on Facebook on June 20th on Ballard and Espadas on that undercard. I enjoy the Facebook fights, man. I mean, it's dope to sit on there. You have the option to participate in the chat or monitor the chat, or you can turn it off. That's going to be, I believe, in Atlantic City in New Jersey. So shout out to her. I know she's done the independent thing. She had a cup of coffee with Salida Promotions. And I actually got an interview with her a couple of weeks ago. I might put the footage up there. There was some relevant questions that I asked her that still are relevant to this day. I just had been so busy I didn't get the interview up there. But I might throw it up there just because. Shout out to her also. Shout out to the GWOAT Clarissa Shields. She will be returning August 17th, I believe it is, up in Vehicle City. That's Flint, Michigan. She's fighting Ivana Habazin or something. I'm sorry for the name, mispronunciation. But this will be for a junior middleweight title, a vacant one. I believe it's the WBO. You know, I freestyle this stuff, man. I'm sorry, I don't have no notes on me. But yeah, she'll be back. That's on a card on that'll be on Showtime. They haven't announced the undercard yet, but shout out to her and Salida Promotions for continuing to work together and continue to try to this will be her 10th fight, third weight class. I think this is a record beyond. This would break Lomachenko's record. I think he did it in 12, three divisions. So we'll see. There were tons of options out there, different options. I kind of hoped, they would have, and I'm sure they took a look at them. But money is an issue, and willingness is an issue in terms of her opponents. So we'll see what this Ivana Habazin is all about. Who's experienced? I think she's like 27-3 or something. So shout out to her. I guess what I really wanted to talk about today, man, is the fallout of the Kevin Durant situation. I'll try to keep this very brief. I mentioned that the reports ahead of Game 5 were conflicting. It was difficult to see, how things were last Wednesday, and then what the reports were, especially from Brian Windhorst, and then to get to Monday night. Was that Sunday night? Monday night. And he plays, and, he suffers this ruptured Achilles. And now it's a lot of doubt in the future, a lot of uncertainty in the future of Kevin Durant, one of the game's best of all time. And my favorite player to watch the last several years in terms of watching him go to work on offensively. And just the skill set of a 6'10", 6'11" guy doing everything, that we had only really seen a Dirk Nowitzki do. But of course, Durant does it in his own unique way. But it's hard to kind of sift through what's what here. And I guess I need to hear from the medical staff. I would like to hear from the medical staff, and if that's announced to the team, then I need to hear that, because I mentioned this Monday. You'd have to know that the lower leg is compromised, and just a basic, rudimentary understanding of taking anatomy or biology or something in high school, or I think maybe it was anatomy. You could grasp that something down there is not right, and it could affect other stuff. So for Kerr to come out and say that he was informed by the medical team that there was no chance of further damage just doesn't fly. And then that just makes no sense to me. And then if it's a matter of, well, we're going to use it, if you have the conspiracy theory that we're going to use him up before he gets on out of here, that's not really a good idea either, because if he gets hurt, he can still just opt to sit on the bench next year in Oakland or in San Francisco for the new arena for $31 million. So this is just an asset now. Bob Myers came out and spoke affectionately and was emotional about it, and said that, Durant is definitely family. But so, like I said, it just doesn't make sense. I was thinking this was a calculated, an informed decision, and you go out here, you mull it over with the team. Maybe even should have got a second opinion, like Kawhi Leonard. Maybe you should have talked to a couple of different sources, before you made this decision. I did hear yesterday on the Stephen A. Smith show that Stephen A. said he spoke with Kendrick Perkins, and I don't even know if Perkins really should have shared this. Maybe it was said in confidentiality to a degree, but he said that a former teammate of Durant, he said that Durant told him, "I can't go out like this. All the fans are expecting me to do this and that, and it's this free agency situation pending and whatever, and I can't leave my team out here. I can't go out without a fight." So he felt the pressure to suit up and go out there. So, it's just a lot of finger pointing. Should players be succumbing to the pressure of fans? We all want team first guys, but now this injury is out there. Now we come for him and roast him for making an idiotic decision, yada, yada, yada. But again, for me, I just go back to the medical staff of what was told to the front office people, to the coach, what was told to KD, what all was factored into this decision to go out here and play. And for there to be 12 minutes in, for there to be an injury that's this severe and could affect, the rest of his career, could derail the rest of his career. He is 30 years old, I believe, so he has youth on his side. In his type of game, there's a way for him to come back and be effective, I believe. But it's still up in the air, And he'd be more further out, the business that this affects with where he was trying to go this year, what he was going to do, in terms of securing his next long-term deal and whatnot. All of this stuff is up in the air now. So again, I'm just kind of confused on, something that basic to not understand that, what was there a percentage that was given, hey bro, you could go out here and not only could you aggravate the calf injury, you could tear your Achilles. That's 70, this is 50%. Like what was the discussion? And I hate to say, for him, you want to compete. You love the game of basketball. I mean, he's one of the dudes that I've always said he just seems like he's loved to play this game. And he's been misunderstood and various, he's been mischaracterized and all types of stuff. I've made a couple other videos out here speaking on it. And just what went into this decision. So, and it's, like I said, this is a minimum of 240 days to get back from this thing. So we're not going to get any answers this week, in terms of when we'll see him again. I mean, I guess once the season is over, the draft is next week. But once the season is over, we'll get to see, I guess, very last point. Let me get up. Will he go back now feeling, is there, deep-rooted animus now between him and the team? And now I'm leaving, severing ties completely from, 24 hours ago. Nothing. I'm done. Could it be that type of situation? Something, similar to what we saw with Kawhi getting out of San Antonio. Did this thing go down that road that quickly? Like I always say, man, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.